The dumbest conspiracy theories. Let's go with Big Tug. Get your tinfoil hats on. Let's see. Let's see.
This video today is sponsored by
Wolpertinger
Wolpertinger. Conspiracy theories. The best way to make dumb people feel smart since the invention of Adderall. And let's be clear
Hell
here,
yeah.
I'm not going to be talking smack about this cute little world of conspiracy believers. Much like every person in the Silk Song subreddit before this weekend, I too want to believe. I mean, have you seen the world right now? No bueno, senorita. It's bad. It would be so cool if there was something else that I could, like, dump my mental abilities into, instead of staring at my Twitter feed and hoping for certain government buildings to I don't know if we can include that, but I do that. But there's just one problem I'm coming across with conspiracy theories right now, and that is that they're dumb. They're big dumb. Big stupid dumb hour. I hate them, they make me mad. That's not to say that all conspiracy theories are dumb. I've talked about some cool ones in the past. Them's are some legit Stevens. Legit, I can't think of a better name for like legit, a nickname, like Debbie Downer. Legit Leroy's. I don't know. All conspiracy theories come from the same root, the same basis, but man, just some conspiracy theories are so much stupider than the other ones. Like on one hand, we have MK Ultra, a government brainwashing use of drugs.
Is he putting a needle in his mouth? I mean, I say that as if dentists don't do that, but, what the hell is going on in this picture? Hello, YouTube comment section. I see you there. Never trust a bunny. Well, good thing I'm not fully a bunny. I'm a Wolpertinger. So it doesn't count. he's injecting acid. What? Oh, the drug. Okay. All right, got it.
That made people go crazy, and that is almost 100% proven
great.
to be real. And then on the other hand, we have the constantly debunked theory that the government controls the weather. So going into the world of conspiracy theories, you have to ask yourself the question, okay, how much am I willing to turn my brain off for a little bit to heavily enjoy a lie that's being told to me? Because I'll be honest, I love believing in lies. Oh my god, is it so much fucking fun to believe in lies. Whether it be small town gossip, some ruckus of close-up magic, it's all fun, baby. It's fun to pretend. And it's the same with dumb conspiracy theories too. They make the world just a little bit more fun. A little bit funner, if you will. Like the urban legend that 80s heartthrob Richard Gere stuck an entire gerbil up his Actually, YouTube won't let me tell you where he stuck that gerbil. But I can tell you over on extratug.com. We're doing these in the middle now. For $5 a month, less than the price of that poor gerbil, you get exclusive access to videos I would be ashamed to show my family. And I found out recently my mother subscribes to Extratug. I don't know why she would do that. We're talking Satan, everything that's too cool for YouTube. So sign up today at extratug.com. So whether it's because we're actually gullible enough to believe them, or we just think they're so stupid that they're funny, we love sharing dumb lies with each other, giving birth to the lowest level of hearsay and rumors. So get ready, Tuglets, because not even tinfoil hats will save you from the stupidity of these.
Well, I guess you guys can remove your tinfoil hats. Womp womp. According to my grandma, Russia controls the weather. I would like to know how they think they are controlling the weather. Like they just set up a bunch of like what? Electrical systems, and they just push buttons, and then all of a sudden the clouds start moving and whatever. Conspiracy theories are mostly something people believe either because they truly think there's a conspiracy behind the scenes, or they simply just can't otherwise explain it, and it's sus. True. Yeah. True. It's a way to try and explain things sometimes, even if it doesn't make sense. Hiya.
Extra stupid conspiracies. That was hard to say. Hey, do you guys like playing video games? Holding controllers?
Is this another
keys?
ad,
Of course you do.
Big
You're a
Tug?
Big Tug fan. You're an absolute degenerate. And let me tell you, there's something more to video games other than pressing a button and getting a cookie. Sometimes you can fly planes and drive tanks and shoot down planes with your tanks. It's the future now. Everything's better. Today we're talking about Wolpertinger, the most comprehensive vehicle combat game ever made. Available now on PC, console, and mobile for free. You got over 2,500 tanks, planes, automobiles, and ships of 10 major nations.
The Wolper Cannon.
From 1920s, how do you do toots, biplanes and armored cars, to the fighter jets and main battle tanks we use today to...
I have a whole set of oh my god, the Wolper weapons. Yep, you got your Wolper bomb, Wolper grenade, the Wolper jet, the Wolper cannon, the Wolper everything. Oh, she the most say-so Vtuber? 3-stream streak, Tanya, let's go! The Wolper flinger, the Wolper shot. Hell yeah. Got it all.
War atrocities. It's fun. And the combat. Boy howdy, don't even get me going about the combat. It's so amazing and combative. Incredibly detailed vehicles. No dumb hitboxes like other games. We're not dealing with that. We got realistic damage on models built down to the components. You shoot an engine, that engine don't work no more. It's complicated. Realistic graphics and sound effects make you feel like you're a tank. A human tank hybrid. A bastardization of science. Or like you're driving the tank. Art is in the eye of the beholder. So if that interests you, join the worldwide community of over 95 million players and epic PvP battles today for free on Xbox, PlayStation, PC, mobile, everything. New and returning players that haven't played for at least 6 months for PC and console get this sweet bonus pack, which hooks players up with multiple premium vehicles, 100,000 silver lion coins, and exclusive Eagle of Valor vehicle decorator. What? That's so much things. With an unmatched wealth of high-quality content to discover, there's simply no better game suited for fans of military history. Click the links down below to get going now. War Thunder. Shooty shooty, I'm a tank.
War Thunder! The most terrifying weapon of all, the Tinger Tickler. I don't know why, but that reminded me of the Dingleberry. Dingleberry. Tinger... Yeah. The Dingleberry Tickler. Wolper grenade is like the holy grenade. The electroshock weapon, the Wolpertinger. Hell yeah.
Alright, so to begin, we're going to start off with conspiracies that I like to categorize as just lies. Straight up lies. You know, the ones you hear the top line bit of and your brain involuntarily says, oh, a lie. You just lied to me to my face. But as dumb as these lies are, and trust me, brain cell killing, huffing glue levels of lying, maybe, just maybe, with my pea brain and very low level intellect, I could find myself on board the train. Alright, up first of these conspiracy theories is that Finland doesn't exist. These are going to be really hard, now that I think about it. This one comes to us courtesy of...
Hello, Meepsy!
The Soviet Union. It's been a while, guys. I'm really trying to get away from it. There's just no escape from the Cold War. I put it on my merch. I mean, at this point, it all goes back to the Soviets. But according to this theory, Japan and the Soviet Union spread the lie that Finland rests between the USSR and Sweden, when in reality, there is no landmass there at all. But why would they conspire to make us think that Finland doesn't exist? Apparently, it's because the fishing in that area is really, really good, and they wanted it all for themselves. You know, your grandpa's secret fishing spot that, you know, he doesn't want anyone to go to? That's what they were doing, but on a geopolitical scale. Japan agreed to participate in the ruse in exchange for the right to fish there without worrying about international laws. And it goes even further. The Trans-Siberian Railway was built in order to help transport all of those fish to Asia. And once the fish got to Russia's east coast via railway, they would then be shipped to Japan under the guise of being Nokia products, which is why Japan was the #1 importer of Nokia products for much of the 20th century. Which is crazy. It's crazy that Nokia phones are attached to Soviet-level lies about Finland. Of course, there's one pretty big issue here. The 5.6 million people who call Finland home and the country's 4 million annual visitors. But that's easily explained.
You're like, what the frick? They're just like, Finland doesn't exist. This is all just Nokia phones. Don't worry about the fish smell.
See, the people visiting Finland just think they're visiting
Smells
Finland.
fishy.
In reality,
No, it's just Nokia
anyone who
phones.
lives in or visits Finland is just in a remote forested area in Sweden, Estonia, or Russia. Now, does that all sound crazy? Of course it does. The number of people who would have to be involved in this conspiracy is a bit high. It's a bit above average. From airline pilots to map makers to all those Finnish celebrities like Bjork, was she Finnish? It would be truly wild if the secret stayed a secret for nearly half a century. So how exactly did this conspiracy theory start to spread? Well, the internet. Every thing comes from the internet. You guys know that.
Of course,
In 2015,
it's the internet.
a Redditor posted this theory in a thread asking users what lies
Of course, it's Reddit.
parents taught them as a child. So they laid out the Finland conspiracy, one that they willingly admit they don't believe, and it caught fire online. There's even a Finland conspiracy subreddit with over 43,000 contributors, or subscribers, whatever Reddit's doing. Now, I will say lying to children is very, very funny, almost every single time. But with the advent of the internet, you gotta realize that when you lie to people, you're reaching some of the most mouth-breathing basement dwellers on Earth. So it's kind of dangerous. Funny jokes
gonna
become
believe you.
misinformation really fast. So maybe we'll pause on believing that one because it's kind of hard to, it's so stupid. But then there's Australia, a country that exists and is larger than the United States. And there's a conspiracy that it doesn't exist.
So the exchange student I knew in high school wasn't actually Finnish? No, because Finland doesn't exist. They were Swedish instead. They were actually Swedish. They were lying. Oh my gosh. I looked online for some new stretch of insanity unknown to man. Unfortunately, when I found some, I'd already read it. Damn, Tanya. Damn. That was a good one.
So we're just gonna plow through this one too. The story goes that in the late 18th century, Britain had 162,000
Oh, so Australia doesn't
convicts
exist
that they
either.
wanted to get rid of. So they shipped them off to the fabricated country of Australia, when in reality, they just drowned them in the ocean. Now this plays off the idea that the British Empire is a big piece of shit that did a bunch of atrocities throughout its history, including Australia itself, where they committed multiple atrocities to the indigenous people who lived there, including but not limited to mass killings, disease, violence, exclusion, they ruined their language, cultural erasure, environmental.
I'm glad I'm not the only one that can't talk. We are sure leering today. Learning. We're learning a lot, yes. We're learning that Finland doesn't exist and Australia doesn't exist. Yes, 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 yes. Wait, there's a leering center? The quality. Guys, you're gonna make me Google stuff, and then I'm gonna feel like a dummy. Because I'm about to literally Google the Leering Center. Fluffles make Hoshi Google things because she's dumb. The Leering Center. They taught me all about piracy. Arrgh, I'm a pirate. The Leering Center is in Minnesota. It's defrauded tax money. So it's an actual thing called the Leering Center. No, it's the Learning Center. Quality Leering Center refers to a fraudulent daycare that... Oh! That was so hastily made, they didn't even make the sign proper. Oh, never mind, I get it. Never mind, I get it. Yes. Yep. I get it. That's where I want to send my kid. Yep. I want to send my kid to the Leering Center, yep. Yep. My brain finally connected all the dots, okay, with recent things that have been going on, and now I understand. Now I understand, Jello. Our kid's going to the Leering Center. It'll be great. Welcome in, Warped. How are you doing?
Integration and child removal.
Huh?
Woo! It also leans into the fact that Australia was established as a British penal colony during that time, which, if you didn't know, is true. British people, if they had a problem with somebody, they wouldn't put them in a prison. They just throw them on a desert, giant continent island full of snakes and spiders and said, like, figure it out, king. British criminals would be exiled to the other side of the world and given harsh manual work. Wow, forced labor, crimes against indigenous people, all while expanding an empire? That's some classic British achievements. That's like getting platinum on PS5. That is, you nailed all of them. To this day, 20% of Australians are descendants of convicts. And honestly, I'm not sure which one is weirder. The conspiracy that Australia does not exist, or the fact that Australia is pretty much just British bad boys. Which makes sense. I love Australians. Sadly, they don't exist, though. For Australia not to exist, we have to...
How are we gonna break it to Eisen that he doesn't exist? I don't know. I don't know, guys. I've been away from Twitch for a while. It's been so long. Welcome back, Warped to Twitch. Welcome back. We're learning about the dumbest conspiracy theories.
To deny the existence of the crocodile hunter and the bloomin' onion from the outback. So those are both pretty rough for me. So how does the Australia theory counteract that? Well, they say every person you've ever met from Australia is an actor or is computer generated, which seems like a pretty big... that seems big. We're kind of just slipping into an alternative worldview where nothing makes sense, but that's pretty par for the course nowadays. But it's called simulation hypothesis, and it's the belief that the universe is a computer simulation. That can warrant an entire video on its own, but to come up with a computer simulation world just to invent Australia is hilarious to me, and I think I'm going to believe this one, because that just sounds like a good way to spend my time and resources. Speaking of
maybe it would make sense, because that's why Australia is, like, full of all these, like, dangerous as hell animals. And so if it's all made up stuff, then it would make sense. And then all those, like, gigantic freaking gargantuan spiders and everything doesn't actually exist. It doesn't actually exist because it's just all a computer generated world that's made up. Yeah, Eisen is a chatbot.
Did you know that James Cameron spent over $40 million on special effects for the movie The Titanic? It'll make sense in a second. Unfortunately, all that sweet cheddar was pretty much wasted because according to my next conspiracy, the Titanic didn't sink. This one's actually really fun. I have a lot of fun with this one. It's not as stupid as the other two. And what's the base reason for this conspiracy theory? Is it aliens? It's insurance fraud. I'm telling you, it's actually interesting. Just wait a second. This conspiracy does include a sinking ship, but Titanic truthers believe that the sinking ocean liner in question was the Olympic. Both of these ships were owned by ultra-wealthy J.P. Morgan's White Star Line? What is that? Yeah, White Star Line, who in the early 20th century was competing with Cunard Steamship Company to build the biggest, fastest boats. But in 1911, the Olympic crashed into a military vessel. Whoopsie. You should have been looking out for them. Conspiracy theorists reasoned that, to recoup their losses and keep from falling behind Cunard in the Battle of the Big Boats, the company disguised the Olympic as the Titanic and set sail on a predetermined voyage to collect insurance money. Adding fuel to the fire of this conspiracy is the fact that the Titanic didn't allow public inspection before its maiden voyage. I mean, some of that's up in the air, but now I'm on board. If you are a rich person planning to do some and you don't let anyone see it before it comes out, that's how it's like when a video game comes out and they don't do previews for reviewers. You know it's gonna be a show. There's only one glaring hole that makes this another dumb conspiracy. It's the money. Did you follow the money? The money doesn't add up, nya? The Titanic cost $7.5 million to build, but was only insured for $5 million. Sinking it wouldn't have helped at all. They would have lost $2.5 million in that time money. So like, I think $40 billion. I do like the concept. Maybe they just did it and there was math that I'm not seeing, but it seems stupid. But I do believe that one. I believe that one because it's fun. And it's such a long time ago that I don't care about the people who died. That makes sense, right? So moving on. No disrespect to people like Joe Rogan, but he does let some pretty whacked out people push their ideas on his podcast. But that makes the next conspiracy, known as Dinosaurs Don't Exist conspiracy, to be even more dumb because he debunked it on his show. If Joe Rogan is debunking one of your theories on his show, you should feel kind of stupid. He's hosted paleontologist Trevor twice, allowing him to...
dinosaurs are way too cool to even... Why would you want to believe they did not exist? Why? They're so cool.
Fully debunk any notion that dinosaurs didn't exist. And not to get all high and mighty here, but to besmirch the name of the Triceratops is disgusting. Pooh, disgusting. Those sweet, gentle souls just wanted to eat plants and chill. And they died to a big rock, and you shouldn't respect them. And by the way, who hurt you? Who doesn't want dinosaurs to exist? It's like a child finding out Santa isn't real and getting mad about it kind of behavior. But how did this conspiracy theory begin to spread? Who on Earth would have a lot of benefit by dinosaurs not existing? Who has a weird worldview that thinks the Earth started existing 2,000 years ago? Who would that be? Well, it's pretty much hyper-conservative Christians and professional athletes. And yes, I know, it is an oddly influential intersection between very uneducated people. But maybe it's worth going through a few of their points to see if,
Why athletes? What the? That's so random. Like, why athletes? Dinosaurs are dragons. Change my mind. You know what? I like dragons. I want to believe it. I went to a church with a pastor that said dinosaur bones were faked by Satan to test Bible faith. Okay. I don't even know what to say by that. I don't even know what to say to that. Dinosaurs are chickens. Chickens are dinosaurs. Chickens are just fluffy pocket dragons.
they have any leeway to make me not hate them. Big spoiler, I'm never gonna stop hating these people. For starters, dinosaur deniers claim that if dinosaurs did exist, we would find bones everywhere. So the fact that you don't trip over a pterodactyl femur on the way to your car every morning means they don't exist. But that's not true, because if you're not a idiot, you would know that fossils are rare because you have to get them in a rare situation. Bones from over 60...
You're talking about literally millions, billions of years, like... Millions and millions of years. What?
Million years ago aren't just laying around everywhere.
Yeah,
you get
what?
That, right? If that were the case, bones would be everywhere. You know how many things die every day? You know what I mean?
We would just be living with bones literally just everywhere. Like, everything would just be made of bones.
Bones disintegrate. That's the whole point. We're made of stardust.
Yeah, exactly.
We go back into the stars. That's my religion. They also claim that since the term dinosaur was coined in 1842, that was when they were invented, which is supposed to be some kind of caught you in a lie sort of revelation. Honestly, I don't think this is real dumb. I don't want to even dignify this with an answer. Just because something was named doesn't mean it didn't come into existence. Like, look at this big-nosed monkey. They named that recently, or at least within the last 50 years. It's right there, we found it. We didn't have to dig. It was in a jungle, but like regardless, you know what I mean? It existed before we looked at. Do you have object permanence? Are you a baby?
It only existed when we named it.
Are you a little baby? But at least as stupid as they seem, all these conspiracies are rooted in some sort of science. There's also an entire subgenre of conspiracies that only focus on celebrities. And we're going to talk about those. And these are dumber than the last.
Hey, it's Justin Bieber! We can start making everything out of bones. It will give a real horror aesthetic. Yeah, exactly. Welcome in, J-Game!
Last ones, because there's no science involved. It's just shit people made up. But I believe some of them. So, once again, I'm pretty stupid. Up first, Marilyn Manson had a rib removed. Do you know about this one? Were you in middle school from the 90s to the 2000s? Do you know who Marilyn Manson is? If you don't know, Marilyn Manson was a goth-adjacent shock rocker in the 1990s. He scared the hell out of suburban parents across the country, and, maybe for good reason. This wasn't a very savory guy. In recent years, he's faced a lot of abuse allegations. Even the kids who listened to him were kind of terrified of him. And I get that. Look at him. That is a scary, scary man. And in this weird pre-internet 90s, a rumor started to spread from middle school to middle school that Manson, certified weirdo, had a rib removed so that he could put his mouth on his own... I can't say. I really can't, because I can't risk...
What?
Getting demonetized again. Things are tight in the big tight household. But could you imagine anyone going to such lengths to achieve that, especially a rock star? Well, I guess specifically a rock star. If you've had everything, you might want to try something else. But
I remember this
urban
rumor
legend managed to spread from sea to shining sea, and for nearly a decade, every teen in America truly believed that Manson was giving himself brains. And given the fact that he turned out to be a giant piece of maybe this rumor was just some intergalactic karma coming his way. So just as an act of childhood whimsy, I still choose to believe it. On my heart, Manson's rib is floating around in some doctor's basement, and I really appreciate that. But that's just one in a long line of conspiracies about rock stars. One of the earlier rock star conspiracies came from the 1960s, when a rumor spread that Paul McCartney, bass player for the Beatles, actually died in a car crash in 1966, heading home from recording...
I heard of this rumor! It really, really confused the hell out of me. What the
Sgt.
heck?
Pepper's Lonely Heart Club's Band. I think it's very funny that Jimmy wrote in this script, Paul McCartney, bass player for the Beatles, as if you wouldn't recognize Paul McCartney's name, and also calling him the bass player for the Beatles is weirdly not, I don't know, it's kind of like, I don't know if Jimmy was making a joke there, but it's so it's yeah, he's the bass player. You know, it just has a connotation to it. Anyway, the story went that the rest of the Beatles decided to...
I remember the rumor that Gene Simmons had the skin under his tongue snipped so he could stick it out further. Oh, what? I love the Paul is dead conspiracy theories developed from clues on Beatles' death.
To replace Paul with a lookalike and soldier on as if nothing happened. But eventually, they were overcome with guilt, and they started leaving messages in their songs and album covers. Now, it is true that Paul McCartney was involved in 2 car accidents around this time, but neither of them were anything major. However, that didn't stop a college student in Iowa from writing about the conspiracy in his school paper, which was shared with a New York disc jockey live on air. Soon, rock fans who were a little too drunk and a little too high started riffing on the idea. Apparently, the signs were everywhere, guys. We just weren't looking in the right places. So in the song Glass Onion, John Lennon sings, "Here's another clue for you all. The walrus was Paul." Okay, stay with me. And this was a reference to the song I Am the Walrus on the album Magical Mystery Tour. We're all familiar. And on the cover of that album, the Beatles are dressed in animal costumes, and the walrus costume, which is supposed to be Paul, is black. And stay with me still. Black is a traditional color people wear while mourning the dead. Okay, not convinced? We'll keep going. What about the cover of Abbey Road? Conspiracy theorists believe it represents a funeral procession. I'm sure you've heard this. Paul's not wearing shoes supposedly represents how some cultures bury people barefoot, and John's white suit represents the color of the mourning in certain Eastern religions. George double denim outfit is supposed to be the gravedigger, which is kind of a reach, but whatever. And Ringo's black suit is traditional going to a funeral attire. So all of this is obviously insane and stupid, but...
Holy, that went really deep. What the hell?
The best part is, the Beatles are so influential to pop music that even their conspiracies are influential. To this day, there are still
love the
thousands,
Beatles.
well, maybe not thousands, but a bunch of conspiracy theories about influential dead pop stars. Like the Avril Lavigne replacement theory, which surmises that the singer unalived herself after her debut album and was replaced by a body double named Melissa Vandal, whatever. Or the rumor that Andrew
What?
WK
I
was
never
replaced
heard of
several
that.
times by actors as pawn for the Illuminati. Oh, and that Katy Perry is actually John Benet Ramsey. Kind of in the same vein, not really, but that one's fun too. Believe every one of them. I don't give a f. But
I never heard of any of those, and I was like a big Avril Lavigne fan.
The dumbest of all these music conspiracies stem from the New York Public Library. Their Schaumburg Center for Research in Black Culture posted a photo online from 1939, featuring someone who looks exactly like Jay-Z. Exactly like that man. So the internet immediately lost their minds over this photo. This was back in 2013, so not only was Jay-Z near the height of his fame and power, mainstream pop culture conspiracies were still kind of quaint. Reddit and BuzzFeed, remember BuzzFeed, posted the photo asking people cheekily if Jay-Z was a time traveler. Even mainstream media outlets thought the idea of Hove as a vampire amusing enough to feature it on their websites. Like People Magazine's online article, 6 clues that birthday boy Jay-Z is actually an immortal being. I mean, People has never been the bastion for media integrity, but even for them, that's a pretty wild headline. So, what does this all mean? Absolutely nothing. Basically, we're getting lazy on the conspiracy front. We're just finding old pictures and shoehorning our conspiracies on top of that. Either they're secretly dead or immortal. It's 2 camps you fit into when you're a dead celebrity. Now, it's pretty easy to argue that a lot of the inspiration for conspiracies come from the unknown. We don't understand something, or we can't wrap our heads around it, like the evolution of dinosaurs, or Australian people. So we have to make up a story about it.
Yeah, I remember the lizard people thing. They be like, look at their eyes, you can tell by their eyes. And the time travel conspiracy. Jay-Z is not a vampire, immortals are a close-knit community, and he's never showed up to the potlucks. Damn, yeah, he's definitely not a vampire then. We just watched Papa Meat's thing on the vampire stuff. I got some Vietnam flashbacks hearing BuzzFeed again. BuzzFeed!
About it. We've done that throughout history. I'm not going to point to points that we did that because people are going to get really upset about religion. But as humans, it's helpful to make order out of all the chaos that surrounds us, which is why we have tons of alien conspiracy theories. Until recently, even just believing in aliens was enough to get you lumped into the conspiracy theorist camp. But today, nearly 65% of Americans believe in the existence of intelligent extraterrestrial life. And you know what? I'm one of them Americans. I'm one of Zems. I really believe in aliens so much. But just because there's a high probability of intelligent life doesn't mean we figured out what exactly it is. That is, unless you're a conspiracy theorist. Let's talk about some alien conspiracies. They're also stupid, but they're a little bit fun. You want concrete proof that aliens exist? Look no further than redheads. Told you they're stupid. There's an entire conspiracy theory that Ginger's descended
What do you mean? Redheads are beautiful. Welcome in, Ray. Keanu Reeves is immortal. If anyone should be, it's him. Yeah, Keanu is awesome. Keanu 100% is. He brought fudge. Ooh, what kind of fudge? Yum. Yum. What the heck are reptoid conspiracies? Huh?
from aliens, specifically that they carry the DNA of a giant race of aliens called
what?
Illyrians, who were aggressive, violent, passionate, and rebellious. Some conspiracy theories link them to the Norse Vikings. And, I must reiterate, this is obviously stupid as However, there are certain things that are pretty weird about gingers. For one, it's very rare to have red hair. Only 2% of the Earth's population have it. Studies show that they also perceive pain differently, which is wild. They have a better sense for changes in the weather. And according to sex researcher Dr. Werner Habermehl, they have more sex and an easier time getting there. Now, I'm not sure if any of that makes redheads aliens, but it does make them seem pretty cool. So high five a ginger next time you see one. They're nothing. But I mean, we've talked about celebrities and aliens and, you know, science. I just want to do some of my own conspiracies. Some things that I've been working on for a long time. Some things that I've been thinking about for way too long.
Let's hear them.
Because I don't know. I feel like I have a lot of things that I want to talk about. And I have Twitter. No one reads that. And I don't have time. They don't give me enough,
use Twitter anymore.
Enough space. So I'm just going to yell at you guys, and you have to listen to my conspiracy theories because these are real. Number one, the computer is God. Computers are God now. That's what God, he said the second coming. I think it's computers, or the internet at least. I think Jesus is internet, and because if you think about it, you go to it when you have questions. When you're worried, you go to this. This is the rapture. You know what I mean? This is the bad timeline. The internet was the bad timeline. I think dentistry is made up. I really do. There's no one regulating this. So you go into a dentist's office. My poor boyfriend's girlfriend had 1,000 fillings because there's this crazy dentist in my hometown. Just recent developments in dentistry ever. The fact that you have a bad tooth and they rip it out of your head. That'd be chiropractics, but you guys know how I feel about chiropractors. I don't need to go into that. I don't get that at all. I don't know how they're made of metal. They weigh way too much. I don't get how planes stay in the sky. Don't get any of it. And I refuse to learn. Paper. There's no such thing as a stale starburst. You leave a starburst out, it doesn't change its chemical composition. I think that the government is controlling.
Starbursts are kind of like okay. They're okay. Jello likes them a lot. Oh, reptoids are lizard people. Okay.
Controlling our reproductive health by flavor blasting things, like flavor blasted goldfish or the Cheez-Its with extra. I think that's it. I think that's all the conspiracies I can think of right now. If you have any in the comments down below that you'd like to get out, let me know. But besides that, like, comment, and subscribe. Do all of those things. And once again, thank you to War Thunder for sponsoring this video. Free now on PlayStation,
comment, subscribe,
PC,
and go
Xbox,
get
and mobile.
War Thunder.
And don't forget, new and returning players that haven't played for at least 6 months for PC and consoles also get an awesome bonus pack. Click the links down below to get going now. Extra tug. I don't even have to pitch it to you anymore. Chris, just run it on the screen. You guys already heard it earlier on. You guys already heard the pitch earlier on. I don't gotta say so. $4.
Damn. I don't know. I don't even know any of, like, conspiracy theories myself, really, because I just don't look at them. I don't know. But I remember there was like a time traveler conspiracy theory that I remember hearing the most about, but I don't remember who it was. I don't. I love gingers. I have the gene for it, but sadly it skipped me. Got the green eyes and the ability to catch fire in sunlight, but sadly no cool hair. No. Queso disproves it all. Queso. I love watching Quesos disproving, like, the ghosts and stuff. The man from Torrid? Maybe. I don't know. I don't believe conspiracy theories, but I love learning about them. Yeah, same. Same. I like learning about them because some of them, like, make you go, interesting. You never know. You never know.